Hey everyone, Codeth here. Let's go over the Lair bosses in Diablo 4. Now, a lot has changed to the Lair boss system, including the introduction of 3 new bosses. But let's go over those changes, starting with this handy dandy infographic that Blizzard put together. So, one of the first changes that's really cool, to summon the bosses, you no longer require materials. So that means you can fight the bosses and try them out to see if you can kill them before you spend your materials on the chest. Maybe you want to go back down to a lower tier, you can't fight it, or you want to save your materials and come back later. Also, that means you can do the Grim Favors. If a boss is currently offering Grim Favors for their kill, you can do that without spending materials if you wanted to. See if I can find an example here. Yeah, right here. Urivar, you can slay Urivar, and because it doesn't cost materials to summon him, you can get the 5 Grim Favors from that. It's really cool. But going back to this, we're going to start with the Initiate bosses and the Lair boss keys for them. So to claim their hordes, you need Malignant Hearts for Varshans, Living Steel for Grigor, Distilled Fear for Beast in the Ice, Exquisite Blood for Lord's Ear, and Judicator's Mask for Urivar. This is one of the new bosses that was added with this season. This will require a Vessel of Hatred expansion to fight. And let's go over to our consumable tab here. So, yep, starting with our Malignant Hearts, this is going to be for Varshan. So now they simplified it for all of these Initiate bosses. Varshan, Grigor, Beast in the Ice, Zir, and Urivar. All of these are just going to require 12 of their respective material to claim their hordes. So, really simplifies things, makes it a little bit easier to remember. Now, to find Malignant Hearts, you can find these from Tree of Whispers, Grotesque Debtors, whenever those appear, Undercity, Tribute of Titans, World Bosses, and Mercenary Bartering. Mercenary Bartering is like really good if you haven't checked that out. It's another expansion activity. You can find that in the den over here. Right here. Definitely worth checking out. It's northeast of Karest Bazaar. Right here. Definitely worth checking out if you have the expansion. Living Steel. Living Steel, commonly found in the Helltide when you open up those chests. Undercity, Tribute of Titans, of course, Tree of Whispers, World Bosses, Mercenary Bartering. Distilled Fear, commonly found in Nightmare Dungeons. Tribute of Titans as well, Whispers, World Bosses, Bartering. Exquisite Blood, commonly found from World Bosses and Legion events, as well as the Blood Maiden in Helltide. Also, Undercity, Tribute of Titans, Tree of Whispers, and Mercenary Bartering. And then lastly, Judicator's Mask, sometimes found Tree of Whispers, World Bosses, Mercenary Bartering. You can also find this when completing Undercity currently right now. It's not listed here, but I have been getting these from Undercity completions, regardless of like if I'm doing the boss Tribute of Titans or whatever. So let's go over the locations of these bosses now. Starting with Varshan. Varshan is located southeast of Kyovashad, right here in the Tree of Whispers in the Malignant Burrow. So something else that they added that's really cool, you can now teleport directly to the bosses. As you can see, you just click on the icon here. They also changed the icon to make it look a little bit easier to spot. It's got like a Diablo skull on top of the dungeon icon. So yeah, you can just click on there. That'll teleport you to the Malignant Burrow to fight Varshan. Next up, we have Grigor. Grigor is located south of Ked Bardu in the Hall of Penitent, which is also west of Kyovashad, right here. Next up, Beast in the Ice. Beast in the Ice is really close to us right now, next to Kyovashad, a little southwest of Kyovashad, right here in the Glacial Fissure. This is also no longer a dungeon anymore, so it's similar to the other bosses as well, because we used to have to do like a really long dungeon to get to fight him, but yeah, it's since been made a lot shorter and a lot easier to get to. Next up, we have Zir. Zir's a little bit harder to find because you don't see the main icon on the map, but he's over right here in the Darkened Way. So this is east of Kyovashad. So you can just click Darkened Way right here, and then there's his icon right there, the Ancient Seat. And yeah, just to confirm, you can also travel to the Ancient Seat from right there. And exit out of that. Lastly, for the Initiate bosses, we have Urivar. Urivar is right here next to Zarbinzet. And respective to Kyovashad, that is southwest. Yeah, like southwest, right here at Urivar. Also close to the den as well. Alright, that's it for the initiate bosses. Oh, I guess I can go over the boss keys that they drop. Yeah, that's a good segue. So Varshan and Grigor, they've done away with the Mucus Slick eggs, so these two will drop the Shard of Agony. Beast in the Ice and Lord's Ear will drop Pincushion Doll, and Urivar will drop Abhorrent Hearts. Now, all of these bosses, Varshan, Grigor, Beast in the Ice, Lord's Ear, Urivar, Duriel, Andariel, and Harbinger of Hatred, they will all have a chance to drop Stygian Stones. Stygian Stones can be used to craft boss keys. So these are going to be for the greater bosses. So Pincushion Dolls, Shards of Agony, and Abhorrent Hearts. These can be crafted at the Alchemist. And we have those same materials right here on our second row. So another thing that has changed with the greater layer bosses, you only need 3 of their respective materials to open their hoard. So as you can see, to open Duriel's hoard requires 3 Shards of Agony, 3 Pincushion Dolls for Andariel's hoard, and then 3 Abhorrent Hearts for the Harbinger of Hatred's hoard. Now, all 3 of these bosses are going to be greater bosses. You can also find their materials from world bosses, Undercity, Tribute of Titans. Same for all 3 of them. Harbinger of Hatred is also going to be one of the other expansion-only bosses. This will require Vessel of Hatred currently to fight him. So him and Urivar are going to be the only 2 expansion bosses. Now for their locations, Duriel is located right here next to Gaia-Kul. That's about, what, southeast? More east than southeast, but right here. And then from Kyovashad, you got southwest all the way down here. There's Duriel in the Gaping Crevice. And Dariel, a little bit between. And Dariel's right here in the Hanged Man's Hall, just directly east of Tarsarak. Yeah, that's where you'll find Andariel. And that's also southwest of Kyovashad right here. Right there. And then Harbinger of Hatred, yeah, you got this whole new expansion area. Harbinger of Hatred is right here in the Harbinger's Den, which is also just southwest of Gaia-Kul. Yeah, right there. Now, lastly, the final boss, the final layer boss, alright? We have Belial. So, to summon Belial, you will need these Betrayer's Husks. Or not to summon, to claim the Horde. You need these Betrayer's Husks. So, in order to get those, you have to get a surprise ambush currently from a little mini Belial. But he can appear after claiming the Horde of any Initiate or Greater Lair boss. So all of these guys, Varshan, Grigor, Beast in the Ice, Zir, Urivar, Harbinger of Hatred, and Duriel, they all have a chance, after you claim their Horde, to have a surprise ambush Belial, and he will drop those husks. And this is kind of what they look like right here. Yep. And then lastly, we have Belial. Belial is located right here in the Palace of the Deceiver. Yeah, so this is, what, east of the Imperial Library, northeast of Gaia-Kul. That's an easier landmark to remember. Northeast of Gaia-Kul, right over here, Palace of the Deceiver. So Belial has a higher chance to drop mythics. Guaranteed to drop at least like 1 ancestral unique as well, which is really cool. And also another thing I forgot to touch on. Currently, he has a high chance to drop Infernal Compasses. A lot of the bosses have been dropping Infernal Compasses as well, and that's for Infernal Hordes. So it's been really nice this season. And that's pretty much it for the bosses and locations. Another handy thing, I'll leave a link in the description below for you guys to check out later. But this is the current drop table. So that's another change currently right now. We have a general unique table. So the bosses will all have a chance to drop anything from this general pool here, as you can see. And then they still have their respective drop table as well. It's like Sorcerer for Varshan still drops Talrash's Enrainment. But yeah, you have a chance of getting some of these things too. And we'll leave a link in the description below for you to check that out later. Another cool thing as well, the more people in your party, the more items you will get. So there's more incentive to do these bosses together in a group. Although rotations are no longer going to be a thing since you don't need materials to summon them anymore, you can still go with a group and increase your odds of getting like mythic uniques or just like more items in general, materials and whatnot. But yeah, that is pretty much it for this video. If you have any more questions, leave some down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Take care. Peace.